everybody, welcome to Ballet and Dance Hacks Part 2. I did Part 1 6 or so months ago and you guys loved it. You wanted some more ballet specific hacks instead of just dance in general. So that's what today is. Part 2 of that, and these I really hope will make life easier for you. So the first thing is a hack that I have used many times, and that is how to make your pointe shoes bigger if they are too narrow, if they are too small. Heavy rehearsal season, lots of feet swelling, and sometimes then they don't fit in your shoes. Been there? Yeah. There is a way to make them wider and give yourself a little more space. Every pointe shoe has an inner lining that when you cut the lining, it will actually give you a little more room in your shoe, and you can not feel like you're Chinese foot torture in your pointe shoe. I use this all the time because Block custom makes my shoes and I need a wider shoe than is actually in stock. So while I'm waiting for my custom order to come in, they very graciously send me stock shoes, but they're a little too narrow for me. So I have to cut the insides to make them wider, and I'm telling you, it's a lifesaver. All right, trick number 2 is something I mentioned many moons ago in my pointe shoe tips and tricks video, and not a lot of you have done it, which kind of surprised me, and that's gluing your pointe shoes. If you have never heard of jet glue, you are missing out. We often always want to make our pointe shoes last longer, a couple more days, a couple more rehearsals, especially if you're a professional and you're in the middle of Nutcracker and you need a shoe to last a little bit longer. Jet glue is your friend. So what I like to do is, for example, this is the left shoe. So I always glue on the outside of my shoe to give myself a little more arch support so I don't feel like I'm rolling to the outside. I also glue the tip inside to make the box harder. Because that's the worst when you feel like you have no boxes left. So jet glue, I think they sell it at Discount Dance. They sell this stuff anywhere now, and I highly recommend you start gluing your shoes if you're having a problem with them lasting. Word of warning, however, you can actually glue your fingers together with this stuff because it's so strong and it dries instantly, so don't do that. Hack number 3, a lot of you want to know how you can get little pretty sheer tops to dance in and, kind of make your fashion statement. Well, you can make your own with a pair of old tights. This is an old pair of tights that I have started to turn into a little pink top. You can wear under a leotard, you can wear over a leotard if you need a little more support. So basically all you do is you cut out the crotch area for your head, and then you cut the legs of the tights to the sleeve length that you want. So I, for example, with this, cut these, cut the tights off. It's going to be about, halfway down my arm. And this is great if you have holes in your tights in the bottom, you can't wear them anymore. You can make yourself a little crop top that you can wear, under, over a leotard. It's probably going to be your skin tone, so it might go with your uniform. I don't know, maybe not. But it's a really just pretty way to create your own little top for fashionable purposes. All right, tip number 4 is something that's a little bit of a thing I don't know if you guys know about. New York City Ballet, when there are leotard ballets, Concerto Barocco, 4 temperaments, Symphony in 3 movements, you're out on stage in nothing but tights and a leotard. And a lot of people are worried about them riding up. If you ever had a costume that rides up your backside, well, we're sewed into them. So if you have a ballet where you have to be in a leotard and you're worried about it riding up, you can have somebody take a couple little stitches at the base of the bottom of your leotard, sew it to your tights, and it will not ride up. We would literally line up and get our bottoms sewn in, basically. All right, next. And it was just so weird, but your leotard does not ride up, especially when there's no skirt to cover it, no anything. You are out there and you pray that your leotard doesn't ride up. Well, they never do because we're all sewn into them. But you will be attached to your costume for the rest of the evening. All right, tip number 5. This might be something you guys do for performances if you want to sew your ribbons to your tights so they don't come out. You can also use hairspray. A lot of people hairspray their ribbons, but I find with my ribbons that just makes them really dirty after a while and just really hard. So what I like to do, and what all the professionals at New York City Ballet do, is we take a couple of stitches, sew the ribbons to themselves and to the tights. Literally, you need like 3 little stitches, and then just tie a knot, cut it, and you're good to go. Your ribbons are not going to come out. The only downside to this, I warn you, is that you can't take your shoes off until the end of the evening or until the end of the act or something. So if you have a shoe change quickly, if you have to change colored pointe shoes or something, this might not be the best solution because it takes a while to, cut the thread to get out of them. It's not a quick thing. But if you're going to be in the same pair of shoes all evening, or you have an intermission to change your shoes, sew your ribbons in. They will not come out, and your ribbons won't get ruined from hairspray. Tip number, what are we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Tip number 6 is something that literally saved me at the Kennedy Center. I got the blister of all blisters on my bunion, infected, red, like big as my whole bunion. It was horrible. But what saved me is that I cut a hole in my pointe shoe, just a little tiny hole right where the blister was, and what that did was release the pressure from the blister, and I was able to dance 6 ballets that night. And literally, by the first couple of minutes, I had to get a little bit more numb, but then it didn't hurt me the rest of the show because I didn't have the pressure of the shoe right on my toe. But what you do is you just mark wherever your blister is and use the scissors to kind of cut a hole. And you can, start small and then see how big you can make it without ruining your shoe. And I'm telling you, it will save you, especially if you have an awful blister. I know the feeling is the worst thing in the world. So cut a hole in your shoe if it's on the pinky toe or the bunion. It's hard if it's on one of the middle toes, but if it's pinky toe or bunion and you don't think you're gonna be able to dance, cut a hole in your shoe, start small, and the pointe shoe will still function, but you will be in so much less pain. I'm telling you, best trick ever. So last hack, number 7, is if you have to do a hair down ballet and you are worried about this happening, such as serenade, for example. If you're doing serenade, you're one of the principals in serenade, the hair comes down at the end, and you're not allowed to wear half up, half down. The trick is, whatever hair is gonna come in your face, grab it, take a bobby pin with the rigid side down, put the bobby pin through it, and pin it up and under the rest of your hair. Then you lay the other hair over on top of it, and see, my hair is still down, but it's not gonna get in my face. And you might have to use a couple bobby pins, you might have to sort of figure this out, but if you take this hair, I'll show you one more time. Whatever hair is gonna be in your face, bobby pin, maybe about at the temple, and put it up and under the other hair. You might have to smooth things down. And while it might not look good close up, to the audience, they're not gonna have a clue that some of your hair is pinned up and under. And again, you might need a couple bobby pins if your hair is thick or whatnot, but that is the trick to having your hair not fall in your face, is if you pin it up and under the other hair. So that's it, you guys. 7 more ballet hacks for you. I hope this makes your life easier. That's why I'm here, to make your dancing life easier, so this was a perfect video for us to do on Fun Friday. If you missed my how to look like your natural, beautiful self makeup look, it's over there and below for those of you on mobile devices. I've linked it below also, so you can click it to watch both places. Thank you so much for watching, as always. I love you all. I am absolutely adoring this new format of my videos. I really am enjoying doing it, and I will see you on Tuesday.